Is it time we got the big brother on the line? Yo, one time, I understand that we got our dear brother. Brother Ashahed Muhammed is on the line. Are you there, dear brother?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Man, I hear you wonderfully. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you feeling, black man?
Man, I'm on top of the world. I feel great today. I've had an excellent day and been receiving all the feedback from all around the world, basically, on what we've written and what we've been discussing regarding the return of hip-hop with sense.
Absolutely, absolutely, and might I add Ramadan Mubarak to you, dear brother?
Oh, Ramadan Kareem. That's another reason why I feel so good.
I know. You know, we over here in Eastern time, brother. So you know the sun. As a matter of fact, the sun is officially down right now. And,
that's what's up.
Absolutely. So we'll be doing iftar in a little while, man. And we thank you so much that in this particular time of the day that you'll take your time out and come and bless us with your presence, man.
Man, no problem. It's a pleasure to serve, and I'm glad to be with you all on the mix. I'm sorry, the mix down. Is that what it's called?
It's called Video Mix, brother.
Video Mix. I'm glad to be here with the Video Mix family.
Absolutely. And you know, let's jump right into a little bit about yourself. Like I've been really breaking it down for the people that are watching and listening who Brother Ashahed Muhammed is. But why don't you familiarize the people a little bit more with Ashahed Muhammad and what exactly do you do, Brother Ashahed?
Okay, well, I'm Ashahed Muhammad. I'm the assistant editor of The Final Call. I've been in this position for 6, coming up on 7 years. But prior to that, I did work for The Final Call in other capacities. And, you know, I studied journalism when I was in school at Arizona State University. And I remember at a specific period of time, I was going through some things in school, and I asked Minister Farrakhan about, you know, what I should do as it relates to school. And he told me, he said, you know, you're putting yourself in a position to move yourself and the nation forward quickly. He said, you go ahead and, you know, stay in school and keep on studying. He asked me what my major was, and I told him journalism. And he said, well, may Allah bless you. And so every time he would see us when we were young and, you know, a couple of other brothers who were really, you know, prominent student activists in the nation at that time with the Nation of Islam Student Association, he would always make us, you know, promise to help build the nation with what we were learning from schools, you know, and make us, you know, really, really learn and use that information that we were getting from the colleges and universities and some of the HBCUs where we attended to make sure that we would come back and help build a nation. And so at that time, I had no idea I'd be doing what I am doing right now. But, you know, it's great. I have the opportunity to travel all over the world with Minister Farrakhan, travel all over the United States, be in situations where I know that I'm witnessing history and watching a really prominent man do things that people will talk about for decades to come. So I really feel blessed to have the opportunity to do it. I look at myself as a servant because when I'm bringing the news to people and telling them about these things that are happening, I'm trying to write it in a way that if you weren't there, you feel like you were there, and that's my duty. And so I proudly proclaim to be one of those striving to be a righteous scribe. In the Bible, it doesn't talk about scribes too well, but I'm trying to be one of those ones that's lining up on the right side of history and prophecy.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly what I was thinking about. Because as you're witnessing history, you're actually taking the account of history that, you know, you're writing for those that are not even born yet to be able to read and understand. And as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, history is best qualified and most attractive to reward our research. So in that capacity, brother, why don't you, you know, you were a journalism student, and, you know, for those that aspiring journalists and the kids that got a YouTube, not a YouTube account and an iPhone, and they're doing their thing, why don't you talk a little bit? What are the roles of an assistant editor? What do you do?
Well, I say one thing about choosing writing for a profession. You know, I describe it to people as it's like having a term paper and homework for the rest of your life, okay? because basically that's the equivalent of what you're doing. You're researching, you're typing, you're editing, you're cross-referencing sources, and you're doing that type of thing on a regular basis. I do it even though the Final Call comes out weekly. Most of the time I'm working on 2 or 3 different major articles in preparation for future deadlines. And when you all see the Final Call specifically in your cities across across America. Here in Chicago, with the hardworking staff under the leadership of Richard Muhammad, we are actually on the next issue moving forward, so we don't slow down. And then you also have other things happening, during that time. So I would say that anybody who wants to get into journalism, you should do it because it's very important. It's one of those things that will never go away, even though the form and the tools that you use are different. When I was in school, I took a class in high school, which was really, really funny. At the time, they had typing, and I really just took it. I was I played baseball. I was an athlete. I was just trying to take an easy, class. So I just went ahead and took typing, right?
Yeah.
But what ended up happening, though, is when I got to college, I was able to do much more research on my papers because since I knew how to type, that portion of the paper didn't take me a long time. But doing the research, that's what I was able to put all my time in, as opposed to others who would not do a lot of research, but they were really slow typists, so it would take them a long time to finish typing. So that ended up being a real important, class that I took. And then researching, I mean, people just have that gift and they want to do it, and they want to be investigative reporters. They want to get to the truth, and I don't think everybody necessarily has that, but you definitely do appreciate those who do have the ability to do it, and that's really what I see my role as. I know everybody's not going to read 512 pages of the secret relationship between blacks and Jews, but I do know that you will look at something that I wrote about it, and it'll give you an overview, and you'll be able to get some information from it. So that's why I look at my job. You're not necessarily going to be it's not a glamorous job necessarily. It's one of those things that's always behind the scenes, but it's very rewarding, and you have the opportunity to really, really shape things and how they're discussed and how they're seen by the globe, and it's a really important position. If it wasn't important, you wouldn't see the world focusing on mass media and news channels like they do. They really want to tell the story, and we need more people that tell our story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, listen, Brother Ashahed, we want to get into a couple of other things before we go out, but if you don't mind, man, I want to kick it to a video right quick. Can I do that?
Oh, man, absolutely.
All right, you know what? I got a special one for you. You know which one we're going to show for you right now?
Man, give me a time reference. I don't know what it's. Okay. It's something from the 90s.
Yes. It's from the classic hip hop album, brother. All for One. This is Brand Nubian, man. Slow down. Hold on. We coming right back on the other side. All right, here we go.